exclusive and luxurious Villa Emunah, located in Eco Drive Canoe Bay. It is our venue for today's episode of Let's Talk Tobago, where we will show you all this beautiful property has to offer. Now, as usual, it's been an eventful week, and we have got a lot in store for you in the next half hour as we recap the major events in Tobago over the past week. So stay with us for all the details. I'm Davia Chambers, and Let's Talk Tobago starts now. Tobago hosted its largest Dragon Boat Championships at Pigeon Point Heritage Park. Inclusion for persons living with Down syndrome was the mantra at the 8th Annual World Down Syndrome Conference held right here in Tobago. Female entrepreneurship is being encouraged on the island. We bring you highlights from a seminar tailored to nurture and develop young businesswomen. And later, former national footballer Dwight Yorke gives back to his alma mater. We have these stories and more when Let's Talk Tobago returns. Stay with us.
Happy times. Summer garden, summer car, 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 summer garden, yeah, summer car.
This is Villa Emunah, a place where every detail counts. Now, this property conceptualizes a trendy boutique-style villa in the tranquil setting of Canoe Bay, all for your enjoyment. This family-owned villa incorporates the creative ideas of each family member, resulting in an eloquently designed whole. Now, let's talk dragon boat racing. Over the years, dragon boat has become an increasingly popular sport in Tobago. Besides the annual Dragon Boat Festival, the island can now boast of hosting thousands of dragon boat enthusiasts for the Pan American Dragon Boat Crew Championships. Held in Tobago for the first time, this international event provided Tobago with the opportunity to showcase the 101 reasons why people should visit this destination. Here's more.
Over 1,000 dragon boat paddlers and supporters from countries like Canada, Panama, and the United States gathered at the Pigeon Point Heritage Park for the 4th biannual Pan American Dragon Boat Crew Championships. The park's water conditions are exceptional. One side is famous for its clear, calm waters, while the other side has deeper, choppier waters that's perfect for visitors who are into sports such as dragon boat racing. The conditions made the races an extreme dragon boat competition.
These waves and the wind, I mean, yeah, in a sense, they slow you down or whatever, but they're so much fun. I mean, the water's coming in the boat. Yesterday, we actually, in one of the races, we were heading out to sea because of the way the waves were hitting us. We took on so much water. We actually stopped, corrected ourselves, and came in. It was. We'll always remember that race. You don't remember races that just kind of go normally. These races, none of them are normal. Every race is so much fun.
The water conditions, I think you always have to adapt to that. I think we're a pretty experienced team, and we've talked about it coming into the race, so we just know what we need to do to execute on our strategy, no matter what Mother Nature gives us.
The 3 days of competition was a collaboration between the Tobago House of Assembly and the Trinidad and Tobago Dragon Boat Federation. One of the partnerships included the redesign of the dragon boats to suit the conditions at Pigeon Point.
This design of dragon boat exists nowhere else in the world. It was done specifically for Tobago. And from tomorrow morning, everybody else in the world that paddles in the ocean is going to want to get one of these boats. They are fabulous.
I am proud to state that this division and the Tobago House of Assembly recognizes the importance of such initiatives and acquired 12 dragon boats and equipment specifically designed to navigate the unique conditions of Tobago's waters for this year's extreme dragon boat racing competition. Let me also say that this event's staging is the ideal driving mechanism required to boost Tobago's emerging sport tourism thrust.
Many stakeholders also believe that dragon boat racing is ideal for the continued development of sport tourism on the island.
It's nice to have an international regatta here in Tobago. We've been here for the past probably about 10 years, every June. And it's nice to see some international teams here. Nice to hear our anthem being played among with the other teams, and it's great for tourism and the industry as a whole and for the sport.
Tobago has grown phenomenally. It is larger in the Dragon Boat map than it is on the actual geographical map of the world. Tobago is huge on the Dragon Boat map right now, world map.
The Dragon Boat competition included 1,000 meter and 2,000 meters races for seniors, women, under 21 and under 16 categories. The success of the Pan American Dragon Boat Crew Championships in Tobago means that tourists have one more reason to visit the island. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Emunah means faith in the Hebrew language, and it was indeed the family's strong faith in God that made the existence of this villa possible. The intention was for the villa to represent the family's belief system and way of life. They also intended to create a positive and welcoming environment with a name that stands out from other villas in Tobago. Now, if you are a sports lover, this story is for you. An exciting sport has been introduced to our shores. It's called Futsal. It's somewhat like football, but with more pace. Here's more from Crystal George.
A new sport is about to be introduced to Tobago. It is called Futsal. It is described as an exciting, fast-paced, small-sided football game that is played across the world. And although football is one of the more predominant sports in Trinidad and Tobago, this unique sport is slowly growing on both islands.
The sport is a smaller derivative of football itself, as in the grass game. Basically, it's played on a smaller pitch, usually indoors, right? Smaller goals, and there's a different set of rules and a smaller ball. And it's actually 2 to 3 times faster than grass football due to the size of the pitch.
The Futsal Association of Trinidad and Tobago, in collaboration with the Division of Sport and Youth Affairs, thought it was necessary to introduce futsal to Tobago, as well included as part of the sporting curriculum in secondary schools.
The Futsal Association thought it necessary to spread futsal not just in Trinidad but in Tobago to enhance and the future development of the game.
While Tobago is now getting involved in learning the game, Coach Bernard is buoyant that futsal is set to go places as it has already done. So it's important that Tobago doesn't get left behind.
At all levels, because last year in itself we sent our under-17 women's team to participate in the Olympics, the Youth Olympics in futsal, and we did pretty well for a team that has been in training for at least 2 to 3 months. So it has a number of places to go as long as a lot of people catch on to it.
The next World Cup for Futsal will be held in Lithuania in 2020, and the association is hoping to take a contingent to compete. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
Sitting on an acre of land, Villa Emunah boasts of a diverse and dynamic accommodation style, with expansive, well-manicured grounds, artistically decorated veranda, 7 tastefully draped bedrooms, 2 indoor kitchens, a beach entry-styled swimming pool. Guests can be sure to experience a stay that will truly be memorable. So World Down Syndrome Day is celebrated annually on March 21st. In an effort to bring global awareness and promote the inclusion of Down syndrome people in society, the Down Syndrome Family Unit of Trinidad and Tobago hosted its annual World Down Syndrome Conference on the island. We've got the details in this report.
Individuals with Down syndrome are capable of living normal lives with limitless possibilities. This was the message at the 8th Annual United Nations World Down Syndrome Day Conference. It was hosted by the Down Syndrome Family Network and is supported by the Tobago House of Assembly. Under the theme, No One Left Behind, the event raised awareness for the well-being of Down syndrome persons and promotes inclusion in all aspects of society, a message that's endorsed by President of Trinidad and Tobago, Paula May Weeks.
Each and every one of us must be alert to spot the inequalities and inequities, obvious or subtle, that exist in our treatment of persons with Down syndrome. And we must take personal responsibility to educate ourselves about the syndrome and its effects. Let us accept that personal responsibility to play our part in ensuring that persons with Down syndrome and other disabilities are appreciated and treated as worthy members of our national community.
Early diagnosis is essential for Down syndrome persons to be given the suitable care and education they need to thrive in society. American musician and multilinguist Emmanuel Bishop is evidence of this. As an advocate for children with Down syndrome, Emmanuel uses his own story as an example of what people like him are able to achieve.
Over the years, these conferences have taught us so many things about Down syndrome. Through the featured speakers and the various professional presentations, my entire understanding and concept has been challenged, shifted, and transformed. I have been educated, and I have witnessed the vast potential of persons with Down syndrome, and that's why this year's theme resonates so well with me. Because when you understand the potential of Down syndrome individuals, you understand really that everyone should get on board and that no one, absolutely no one, should be left behind.
The conference included an interactive panel discussion with experts in areas like disability studies and policy creation for the differently abled. It was a learning opportunity for parents, guardians, and teachers.
And so the school does have to come together and say, what are we going to do when bullying happens at our school? How are we going to respond? And have a plan in place, ready to go. Young children, I find it's really great to read children's stories about how we treat each other. Older kids, I think frank conversations are where it's at about, what is Down syndrome? What is autism? What is cerebral palsy? We have to start to talk about these things. It's not anything to be ashamed of.
The conference was hosted at the Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort. It's hoped that more people will become advocates for greater inclusion of Down syndrome persons within all aspects of our society. I'm Caroline Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
Some women feel that females are often not given a fair chance at corporate leadership roles. However, female entrepreneurship is on the rise in many emerging economies. Women are now starting businesses and, in some instances, at a faster rate than men, thereby making significant contributions to job creation and economic growth. When we return, we bring you a seminar that was specifically tailored to businesswomen in Tobago. Stay with us. It's all coming up after these messages. Welcome back. You are watching Let's Talk Tobago, and we are at Villa Emunah in Canoe Bay. Villa Emunah can be rented as an entire villa of 7 rooms or rented as 2 separate houses with 3 and 4 bedrooms, completely and safely secured from each other. And you don't have to worry about privacy and convenience for all guests. Now, are you a female who once thought about becoming an entrepreneur but was fearful of failure? Maybe you thought you weren't known enough or just lacked confidence to take that leap into the world of entrepreneurship. If you fall into one of these categories, then this story is for you. It was an evening of motivation for aspiring entrepreneurs. All seats were occupied and faces attentive as the Youth Energized for Success program of the Division of Finance and the Economy hosted the first installment of the Leading Ladies of Industry panel discussion. Leading Ladies of Industry was a forum to bring together like-minded female budding entrepreneurs to discuss the obstacles that often stand in the way of success and share strategies on how to overcome such challenges.
The major focus of the panel discussion will be to address issues such as confidence, work-life, balance, fear of failure, new and emerging markets, and economic trends. Outstanding young female entrepreneurs will also be recognized and celebrated for their contributions to the development of the island and the Tobago business community.
The panel of influential female entrepreneurs addressed issues like work-life, balance, fear of failure, new and emerging markets, and economic trends.
Don't put yourself in a box of what you think you need to do in order to make money, in order to gain respect, in order to impress your family or your friends. At the end of the day, what you might want to do and feel to do inside might be something that does not check off all of those boxes, or it may check off all. But once you're feeling happy with what you do, every day you're gonna wake up and be excited.
One panelist even shared the best advice she has ever received with those in attendance, all in the hope of encouraging the aspiring entrepreneurs to further develop themselves.
He said, focus on you and invest in you. And it made sense to me because when I started to make money, I wanted to take care of my family, And he said, you're going good, but slack off on that, and meaning family, meaning extended family, like sisters and mother and whatnot. He said, and focus on you and invest in you and build you. So that you would actually get to a point where you have enough money and enough stability where you could actually wholly help them.
And in a world where everyone seems to utilize social media, this panelist shared her success story of taking advantage of social media.
It comes down to content and how you create that content and how you use the ads to target who would really buy your products. I could say from our social media activities in the past, we generated a lot of business via social media, particularly when brands in Trinidad wanted to work with a brand that was reputable in Tobago.
And the advice given was well received by those who attended.
And I'm really enjoying tonight's endeavor. I feel as though it is something really positive. I've actually met and spoken to a few ladies and networked, so I'm hoping that after leaving here that we can actually have a positive endeavors, I guess, synergy that would make things actually start happening for entrepreneurship and for young people in Tobago.
I think Leading Ladies a really interesting program that the department is having. Because it encourages women to come together in partnership and have a forum where we could get to know one another and collaborate with one another.
The YES program also recognized two leading entrepreneurs, Asha Maz and Abini Taylor. Planning on getting married in Tobago? Let Villa Emunah be a part of that life-changing event. The Villa's Bridal Loft is truly the perfect venue for any bride and bridal party to prepare themselves for that walk down the aisle. It's sure to give any bride that blissful feeling and satisfaction on her big day. So one Tobagonian is creating history in the field of fashion. He is the first Tobagonian to receive an award at the popular Caribbean-style fashion show and awards ceremony in Washington, D.C. Find out who he is in this next report. He graduated from the University of Trinidad and Tobago in 2018 as the top performing student in the Caribbean Academy of Fashion Design. He has launched two collections, The Awakening and Apathy, under his brand Fluorescent Black. Now, Daniel Clark will be the holder of an international award come June. Carib Nation Incorporated will be presenting the Emerging Designer Award for 2019 to the young fashion designer at the Caribbean Style and Culture Fashion Show in Washington, D.C. This year, the event will be celebrating its 10th anniversary.
They are putting on a Caribbean Style and Culture Fashion Show, and it is usually in commemoration of Caribbean History Month, and they award a few designers from the Caribbean. This year they're awarding 5 designers, myself included. Dark Creations is another one. I don't know why the name of the others are slipping me right now, but they usually award Caribbean designers who would have contributed to Caribbean fashion and done well. So I'm very proud to be receiving that award.
Daniel says he will also be presenting a new fashion collection at the Caribbean Style and Culture Fashion Show. The event is one that promotes not only fashion, but art, music, and culture.
They're asking for all designers to produce new work. So I have the opportunity of producing a new collection to be showcased at that fashion show and award ceremony. And for me, that is a great achievement and opportunity as well, because I get to showcase my work and the skills that I have in an international forum.
The promising fashion designer is hoping that he can use the exposure in Washington, D.C. to fulfill his dream.
Definitely, I'd like to be on international platforms. I would love to walk the runway with models in possibly Milan, New York. I'm seeing this possible with the new award that I'm being given.
Danielle is the first Tobagonian to receive this award. We have to take a break, but coming up, former Trinidad and Tobago national footballer is giving back to his alma mater. Stay with us for the details of this story coming up right after the break. Villa Emunah takes arts, ambience and style and pair them with wanderlust desires to offer you a vacation of a lifetime. If you are considering the accommodation, they even offer property tours to prospective guests and clients so that you get the opportunity to view the phenomenal space that you will be staying or hosting your next events. Over the years, Tobago's primary and secondary schools have produced professional sportsmen and women who have made their mark in the international arena. Former national footballer and Manchester United striker Dwight Yorke is one of them. Despite residing abroad, Yorke continues to come back home and supports the Bonaccord Government Primary School. Omadara Mills has the story on what took place during his latest visit to Tobago. Here's more.
Support over the head of Yorke. The goalkeeper comes a long, long way. There's an important touch. Goal puts it back in. Dwight Yorke! A £12 million man scores his third goal in 2 games. It's looking like money well spent.
Dwight Yorke, a former Manchester United footballer and former national player, has not forgotten his roots. He recently visited his alma mater, Bonaccord Government Primary School, the academic institution that helped to mold him into a successful professional. During his visit, Mr. Yorke donated a $20,000 check that will be used for the school's 2019 biennial Dwight Yorke School Sports. He also encouraged the students to balance sports with academics.
Coming to school every day, which was very important. Learning my schoolwork, which is also equally important. But my love for football was a little bit greater. I tried to, make the both of them work as a schoolboy growing up, to try and balance both my sporting academic and certainly my school education. And I think my advice to you as young boys and girls is to try and take both very seriously. Your school years are very, very important. They are something that you would never forget.
Mr. Yorke advised the students to continue on a positive path, staying away from illegal activities and concentrating on achieving their goals.
If you want to be successful in life, whatever you do, that hard work is always the key to success. If you want to work hard and you want to be successful, then the opportunity is that you are likely to be successful. But it comes with sacrifice. And sacrifice means that you ought to be focused and the love for whatever you decide to do in life.
Principal of the Bonaccord Government Primary School, Desma Frank, expressed gratitude to Mr. Yorke for his continued support towards the school's success.
On behalf of all of us at the Bonaccord Government Primary School, we want to say thank you very much for everything that you would have done for us and that you are going to continue to do. We appreciate it and we love you.
In previous years, Dwight Yorke has made other financial contributions to the Bonaccord Government Primary School through the Dwight Yorke Foundation. The school's sports will take place in May of this year. I'm Omadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
And it's now time to have Your Say, the segment of our program where we hear from you, the viewers. Let's take a look at who had their say this week.
It was A.
Why are you spelling things?
That's a quick question, nothing. That's not hold on.
I'm waiting for the money for the question now.
And it's that time again. It's have your say time again. It's another day. It's another working week. And I hope we are treating people in which the way in which we want to be treated. The question we're asking today is, what are your thoughts on the work ethics of our people? This is what you said.
Well, my thoughts about the work ethic is kind of good because they bring a set of people on the gang and we get a little bit of improvement.
It is very poor, and the youths of today, they don't like to work.
That's all dependent on the person. What they believe in, what are their beliefs, what are their belief systems, how hard they're willing to work. I just believe that's really, because if you compare Trinidadians to the Tobagonians, it's the truth. It really depends on the person.
What is accepted as work here, I think is as hazards.
Non-productive. And that is killing the system in Trinidad and Tobago. People not producing where work is concerned.
From the ground up, or even you could even say from on top and come down. The reality is that all people don't like to work. And because we choose our leaders from the ground right here, it's obvious that when they do get in power, they do the same thing.
It could have been better if the heads show the smaller one example.
Nobody don't want to work no more. Everybody want, but nobody want to do work. If all of us want this country to be a better place, each one of us had to play a role, brother.
In my time when I was working in the department, we used to work all day, and everybody used to do the work. Now the people is treating the work as though it's a side thing, and work out to and get home. That never happened in my time.
The system is going backwards instead of going forward.
Work ethics of Trinidad and Tobago, I would say, especially Tobago. There is some work to be done on the customer service representation.
Poor customer service.
Some of them very poor, some of them very bad. Some of the customer service is not nice, the way how they treat customers.
I hope that the government or the companies that hire these people send them to do some customer service in dealing with the people. Also in government buildings, we have some issues with that, about the way people speak to people.
Some places, not all.
People need to work. Okay? Work don't kill you.
It was A.
Why are you spelling things?
That's a quick question.
That's not hold on.
I'm waiting for the money for the question now.
We close yet another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like our Office of the Chief Secretary Facebook page, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. For more information on Villa Emunah, you can contact 725-7156 or visit their Facebook page at Villa Emunah. From our house to yours, I'm Davia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and very productive week. We close now with a montage of the Pan American Dragon Boat Crew Championships 2019. Do enjoy.